an end. The war has started, it will come to an end. Who knows, another war will start. And the mind is a heavily conditioned to achieve a result by action. But the existence has created five elements. No action, you see. The water everywhere is the same. It has no starting point, it has no finishing point. So, when anything that has no starting, no finishing point, we can point out that that is the state of perfection. And that state of the perfection means it is knowledge. So, knowledge of the real self is permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. But the moment you put into action, the problem returns. But we cannot get rid of this action because I'm heavily conditioned. In that conditioning, I'm doing all the actions. Honey, please understand this. Don't be agitated. Don't feel bad about me. I'm a good guy. I have to perform an action, but the honey does not understand. So, what should I do? I have to continue to perform an action until I reach to a point. Example, example in relationship, in so starting and finishing point. This is one aspect. We will go deeper slowly.
But
No,
any
yeah,
it's
yes.
any action it's material part, and knowledge and real self it's not material part.
Yes, that we can say in the beginning to understand. I will take your mind to a different level, that there is a creation by the existence, and that creation is known as a manifestation. It is not known as the creation. First point. Second point, no living species except the human being is able to receive the knowledge and perform an action. No, no, how can you say? Tiger was eating flesh thousands of years ago and still eating flesh. Cows eating grass, still eating grass. So what we have done, now you see that we applied the knowledge. So tiger is eating a raw flesh. We are eating cooked flesh. We created something more. This is human creation. This is human creation. And the cows is still eating grass, and we use those plants and cook our vegetables. So this is my creation. Existence has given me the milk, and I created curd and ice cream and long list. Existence has given the gold. I created ring and necklace, and then the honey complains that you have not given me a ring in the marriage. Existence has created a girl. We created husband, and we created wife and the daughter and the mother. How we created? By the mind. Is mind perfect? No. So it will always create imperfect creation. Hold back. Hold back. Become aware what you are going to create, because I have to perform an action. It means I'm going to create something. See, based on the knowledge, but the knowledge that we get in the mind about this material world will never be perfect. So once we understand this, now come to a point that the moment I have a problem, conflict, confusion, ignorance, it is because of my own creation. It has nothing to do with existence creation. Water created by existence, we polluted the water. Air is created by the existence, we polluted the air. This is my creation. See that? Look at this.
But mind cannot be perfect because it's limited, and so our knowledge, which produced by mind, also will be limited. It's
Yes.
not perfect.
Mind remains limited because it creates the I-ness in me. I become an individual and I say that I will create a perfect. You are right. But if the mind follows the existence, it follows the perfection. Take one example, many examples. We say ring is made up of the gold. This is my I-ness says. But the gold has manifested in the form of a ring and necklace. That is existence creation. If the gold material is not created by the existence, it contains all the forms in the names. My mind simply manifested it. But what I did, I said, no, I have created necklace. You see, we have couple of uh, gold jewelries companies. We create unique ring. So you create a unique ring. So if I give it to my honey, will my marriage last forever? Do you see that? Clay. Existence created clay. I don't respect it. So I created brick, I created wall, I created clay pot. That is my creation. You can destroy what is created by me. You cannot destroy the clay. You cannot destroy the gold. Do you see that? That is what Satchidanand is. That is what the existence is. Here and now. So that real self is manifesting as an individual whose name is Taras, whose name is Girish. It's only a manifestation. In appearance, they do not exist. They are in appearance. But mind says, no, don't say this. You take birth and you die and you become old, you have diseases. So I'm identifying myself with the manifestation of the name and the form. So obviously it is my own creation. So if it is my own creation, then I'm continue to suffer. There is a suffering in my creation. There is no suffering in creation of the existence. I'm taking you deeper. So when we see the world outside, so our masters never says this world is delusion. My perception is delusion. I don't see the clay, I see the clay pot. I don't see the gold, I see the necklace. I don't see the real self. I see an individual with the name and the form and age and profession and how much Elon Musk worth is. But the fact remains the opposite. Real self manifested in the form of Elon Musk. It has a starting point, it has a finishing point. It has created this individual, it has a starting point, it has a finishing point, but there is something inside, like clay, like gold. It's not going to finish. Can you finish water from the earth? I read the news that in 1 year it becomes difficult to supply water in Arizona homes
Why?
because there is a lot of drought and all the lakes are drying up. We have around 10 miles radius. I live in the 10-mile radius where we have 10 different lakes.
But you have also Colorado River from the mountains.
Yeah, so that also has a less supply of water because Colorado is using it, overusing it, and it is at the corner. It is also going to California. But no, the fact is that the water problem may be in Arizona, but water does not have a problem. So become aware. You created something. Why you created something? To get the things done in a particular direction. That is your desire. You did not align yourself with the existence. And that creates the conflict and the confusion and the problem. And my goodness, lot of problem. Lot of problem. Pay attention. Just look at not one example. Existence creation has no problem. Individual creation always has a problem. That is what the suffering is. My honey doesn't listen to me, and that's why I'm stressed, and many people come to me. We both have a daughter. Your daughter is going to get married. My daughter is already married. So now see the I created a daughter, for example. So I have a daughter and a father relationship. I got her married for pleasure and enjoyment to somebody else. Marriage means that. What do you mean? So individual creation always has a problem. One relationship, no pleasure. It's a joy of creation. Other, the same daughter has a relationship with somebody else who is also a male. I'm also a male. You take any example in this world, individual creation. The moment you create something, it is imperfect. It is full of ignorance. It is no doubt. In the material world, we have advancement in science, in transportation, in communication, in internet. No doubt about it. But do you see the China recently sent a satellite and the entire world was scared where it is going to fall and it will create a distraction. You find anything, individual creation, you give me any example, which is 100% perfect which gives you 100% peace and happiness. We are rising above. We are going further. That's how the seeker perceives the world. Okay, okay. So my honey has a problem. Let me see what I created that has a problem. Okay. So now I turn to the self-awareness. Eastern wisdom is self-awareness program, emotional freedom program, peace and knowledge-oriented program. This is what it is. So self-awareness program. I created something and my honey has an objection. So let me see. I should not create further problem. Let me see what I can do to align myself with the existence creation and become happy. So by anger, hesitation, desire, pleasure, greed, pride, jealousy, hatred, I'm going to suffer. It has nothing to do with morality and ethics. It has to do only with an understanding. The existence creates, manifests in peace, in happiness, in love, in wisdom all the time. Why shouldn't I follow that? No, I will have a loss. Otherwise, also, you will have a loss. You are already losing. There is already a conflict and confusion. Sometimes people say that, I'm earning for my retirement. So when you are retired, so you have a dividend. Dividend of what? Dividend of diabetes, dividend of high blood pressure. You worked so hard. You went against the flow of the creation. Just see, your mind will calm down the moment you start thinking in that way. The mind will say, no, hold on, before I create, I must be very clear. Means what? I must have a right desire. Means what? I start following the Shreyas. Look at it. This is what the journey of Eastern wisdom is. It demands only the knowledge. It is self-awareness program. So, self-awareness program is discernment, is viveka. Now I'm separating Ishwar, the God creation or existence creation from individual creation. I married, so I created a husband in me and I created a wife in others. Good. Let her remain as a girl, existence creation. Let me remain as a man, existence creation. Now solve the problem. There is no problem at all. What to solve? No, she doesn't listen to me. That is your creation. Think. Find out. Give me any thought. It is because of her past impression, she is not listening to the knowledge that is right and good. You force individual creation. So come back to the main thing. The way this existence has the knowledge and it has the power of creation, no other living species except the human being have the knowledge and the power of creation. Give me any other example. Mosquito, elephant. Do they create? Elephant mother says, okay, hold on. I'm not giving you milk today. Let it be converted into curd and then I will give you. My goodness. And that is where the problem comes. Find out we only need a self-awareness program. What is self-awareness program? I must understand where I'm going, what I'm doing. I should have created out of love and peace, and I should have continued in love and peace, but I did not do it, so I'm suffering. Whose responsibility? It is my mind responsibility. Mind is already limited. It is imperfect. Let the mind be aligned to the existence, to the pure consciousness. So this mind reflects the real self, and I am free from the suffering. No, what to do with my honey? Again, you have already declared that she is your honey. So that is an individual. There is a problem in the individual creation. There is no problem in the existence creation. So what is this? You just said, oh, it is an emotional dependence. So what I want, an emotional freedom. What is an emotional dependence? By emotional dependence, I'm behaving like an animal. I made it very clear that human being is the only living species has the power of knowledge and the power of action to create something new. We don't have. No other living species has. Otherwise, the cows will refuse to allow their babies to drink milk. Go to the market, buy the curd and milk, whatever is available, you take it. Do you see that power? We have a power of knowledge, we have a power of action. Power of knowledge, so knowledge should be right, aligned with the existence. Power of action should be aligned with the existence. Where is the problem? I'm dying. So that wrong notion is an individual creation. Did you create your body that you are dying? Did you have a power to take birth so that I can understand that you are dying? Look at it. The, that is the beauty of the teachings of the Upanishads. We will come back, so I'm just putting up some of the making you, depending on the level of the seeker. Last session I had a group session with your your group. So I asked them that how many of you believe God? So there were 15 people. So the three girls said that we all believe in God. God created us, and the rest were shy. They are clever and intelligent. So they did not answer me. I said, okay, three girls. So it means when you know that the God created you, it means you were before the God. That's why the God created you. You know it. We don't follow the self-awareness program. We just believe God is there. Jesus is there. Krishna is there. We will come to that later. Who are they? So I believe, I have a blind belief, I create a cult, and out of that belief lives the fear and anxiety and duality. So I want my own creation from the God, which is not possible. If there is a God, the God will always follow its own creation. Why it should be dictated by you? No, I will go and pray and then it will happen. Nothing happens. If there is a God which is sitting in you, deep inside the cave of your heart. Because you have the power of knowledge, you have the power of creation, and that God is the ultimate knowledge, and that God is the ultimate creation, creator. It is sitting in you. It is reflecting through the mind as the power of knowledge and power of creation, which is not possible in other living species. No, it is not present there, it is present there. No, but the light cannot be reflected from the wall. It can be reflected from the water, from the mirror. So they are living at lower level of their awareness. So that real self is not reflecting through the animals, through the plants, through the mountains, through the matter, but it is there. It is everywhere. It is everywhere. Now wait and watch. Any thought comes. Thought contains knowledge, so power of knowledge. And that will prompt into action, so the power of action. So now the moment you watch and observe and feel and perceive, self-awareness program, discernment, you follow that, mind, this is your creation is not going to help. The mind will drop that thought. I need not to control my wandering mind. It is already controlled. See the understanding, the beauty of understanding. Self-awareness program, emotional freedom program, knowledge-oriented peace, happiness, love, and wisdom program. Opposite to action-oriented peace and happiness program. Look at those scientists. When you practice mindfulness, we have observed in thousands of people, there are drastic physiological, biochemical, neurophysiological changes. Are they remain permanent? No. So why you are doing such kind of research? I want peace. So is peace a product of physiological changes, biochemical changes, neurophysiological changes? Yes, you will never be able to achieve peace and happiness. You are going to increase the mental and emotional disorders. Not possible. Because you are giving a wrong teaching, wrong notion to the people. It is peace consciousness. So consciousness manifesting as a peace. The gold is manifesting as a ring. Clay is manifesting as so I have to go to the source. When I go to the source, I found my real self. So you mean to say, I mean to say the medical doctors, they mean to say that diabetes means physiological changes. It means you cannot have peace, but you have peace. Peace is independent of those changes. I don't argue. I don't argue those people now, but in the beginning, I used to say, okay, physiological rest. Tell me, is a diabetic patient lives at the physiological rest? No, they are constantly agitated, but they are happy, they are peaceful. So peace is independent of your physiological condition. Peace is independent of your biochemical condition. Look at it, individual creation. You look from that point of view, individual creation and this existence creation. I look at your house. The existence created the wood, and we created the self, and the almiras, and the chair, and the bed. Tell me if it is perfect. No creation of this mankind is perfect. So why to pay so much of, why to get obsessed with it? You see, we cheat ourselves, we deceive ourselves. One example, Miss Universe 2022. Perfect? No. Miss Universe 2023. Miss Universe 2019.
But no one form can be perfect.
No. That I need to, and these form, if that form, fact is that this name and the form do not exist. The ring does not exist. We see from the opposite point of view the ring, gold ring. No, first is gold manifest as a ring. And what manifest will become unmanifest. You melt the ring, it becomes the gold again. You crush the wall, it becomes the clay again. So I should have that penetrating awareness. The moment I see the name in the form, first I land up to the original from where that original creation manifested. So I see the skyscraper, 50-story building, and I see my home. Both are clay. Name and the form are different. I see honey and myself. One consciousness manifested. This name in the form, that name in the form. That name in the form has certain past impressions. So this name in the form has certain past impressions. Their clash is known as the individual creation. So I backtrack, I go to the real self and ask, now my honey is not listening, better not listening so that you will have a bad dispassion. No, but I will force her to agree with me. Then you want to create your own creation, so you'll have a problem. At the material level, social level, we do this. But ultimately, you do it. Say, for example, in relationship, one has some issue, psychological. We do it, we force, but we force not through the mind. We play our role. Finished. We play our role, we are happy. I used to play chess with my son when he was hardly 10 to 12 years old. We used to play chess. Couple of times, definitely I defeated. So when he was on a winning spree, I said, come on, let's have our dinner. It was an issue for my son, but for me it was a play. I was spending some time with the son to play the chess, but not with an idea that I must win. So in order to develop his individuality, I was playing. It was a play for me. For him, it was a issue. So when you make an issue out of anything, it is your own creation. So you are suffering. Mother, I have an issue with the mother. I have an issue with my honey. I have an issue with my daughter. I have an issue with my son. I have an issue with the entire world. Ah, because you are an issue. You don't have any issue with anyone. You are an issue. Why you are an issue? You are living in ignorance. How to get rid of it? Self-awareness program. Do you need to do any practice? No. Self-awareness. Knowledge-oriented peace and happiness. Why? Knowledge-oriented. I have to know that peace is my essential nature. I have not to practice to secure peace and happiness. Because if I practice it as a starting point, it is a finishing point, it is my individual creation. That is why we say meditation is a non-practice. But that happens only when we are a seeker at the highest level. When that seeker's mind is 100% sure, no action prompted by the desire in the mind can get me into peace and happiness. It is only the knowledge-oriented peace. Why? Existence is knowledge. Sat Chitanand. You start thinking in that way in your business, in your profession, in your society, in your relationship. You discover that peace and happiness continues. When it continues without any effort by the mind in ignorance, that puts me into the desire and then act on the desire for desire fulfillment, that is gone. So, will I not do any business? No, you are doing everything as it is. Where is the problem? It's better to create. Musk has created Tesla car, so let him create. But having an emotional dependence on the Tesla is going to kill him. Why? Tesla has a starting point and a finishing point. Already there is a lot of problems in China, which produces the highest number of Tesla cars. He already has a problem with the Twitter. So why there is a problem? It's an individual creation. Again, look at it. He came and he fired all the employees without thinking, without aligning with the existence. So he has a problem. So obviously, another point is also very important. Existence creation. We have already understood the existence creation and individual creation. But this individual is also a creation of the existence. I claim that I have an independent way to have a knowledge and I have an independent power of creation. No. No, not at all. Not possible. Elon Musk created a Tesla car out of the same steel and the iron and the electricity that is already present in the nature. Steel is a creation of the existence, out of which you created a car, then what's a big deal? You did not create steel. You did not create energy which is already present in the universe. That takes us deeper. Did I create body? No. Did I create the energy that works in the body? No. Did I create the mind? No. Did I create the intellect? No. They are all existence creation, or whether you say the God manifestation or God creation, whatever you want to say for the sake of understanding. So I'm a creation. Mosquito is also a creation. Elephant is also a creation. The tiger is also a creation. Apply the self-awareness program. I say the consciousness, the way the sunlight reflects in the water but not on the wall, the same way that consciousness reflects easily through the human being, not through the other animals. That is how I am able to understand. You have 10 buckets of water filled with the water and the sun reflects does not mean the sun exists in the bucket of water. But I see the sun. So that consciousness reflects in you, me, honey, every individual does not mean that there are many, many real self. It is only one. Ten suns are not present in the buckets of water. It is only one sun. I live in ignorance because I focus on the 10 buckets of water. I don't see from where it is being reflected. It is the consciousness alone reflected in the mind that is water. So you see that, pay attention. Mind is the water. That consciousness or the real self or the consciousness reflecting in the water. Then we have a reflected consciousness. That sun in the water do not exist the same way the individual do not exist. There is no individual. But we claim there is an individual, that's why we suffer. Individual suffers. Did you understand that point? Sun, real self. Water, mind. Sunlight, sun reflects in the water. So that sun is a reflected consciousness, the reflected individual. Mind is water. Real self reflects in the mind. So when I see that reflected consciousness in the mind, I say, I am intelligent, I am male, I am white, I earn $1 billion. Who is this I? Where is I? Did you understand? Where is I? There is no individuality. It's all a reflection. At least animals are, thank God, animals are good. They look at you, they simply look at you. No individuality. When we look at others, we create an individuality. Here is I, there are you. Two buckets of water. The sun and the two buckets of water are fighting against each other. That is the beauty of this Eastern Western. Understanding is required. The mind is not ready to accept that there is no difference between these two buckets of water. One that appears as a teacher, other appears as a seeker, but there is hardly any difference. Same thing applies to relationship with a husband and wife and mother and son and daughter and stranger, including the tiger. Elephant in most. Did the COVID virus has any intention to spread into the body of human? They are not free. They don't have a independent mind to think and to act on it. Because it matters because of that knowledge, free will means action, and the knowledge that I can have as a human being, realize it is the human race is at stake of the risk. So I took an action. It is an individual creation. COVID virus did not take any action to kill the humans. Why? They cannot follow self-awareness program. Only we can follow. So when we start teaching, we say the world outside. Do you see the world outside? Yes. That is the first basis of yoga and the Eastern wisdom. So there must be some creator of this universe. Yes. So that is Satchidanand, that is the Supreme Consciousness. Then what about you who seem to recognize both? You are an individual. So we say there are three bases of. There are always a three bases. There are not fourth bases. Individual means individual consciousness. Supreme means supreme consciousness. Universe means universal consciousness. We have to delete individual, universal, supreme. We have to go to consciousness alone. That is the ultimate reality. That is the real self. And that is. So now what happens? That now individuality is gone. So individuality is gone. So universe that appears is also gone. Because of my individuality, universe exists. Because of my individuality, I am a husband, and then I have a honey, then I have a son, then I have a daughter, then I'm also the son of a father. Then I'm rich, and then I'm poor, then I have a particular race. Individual creation. But now I'm none of the reflected sun in the buckets of water, and that bucket is the body. I am the sun. So sun never says that I will give you the light to your house. I will not give the light to you. Last point is very important. What do I see? I see right hand. No. I see the light. I see the right hand in the light. Right hand is gone, light is still there. All the 10 buckets of reflected sun is gone, the sun still exists. It does not change, no change in there. We are that consciousness that is all pervading. It is not the part, property, product of any thought. It is all pervading. The moment I make any statement or I see ring is a part, property, and product of a gold. So whatever is part, property, and product of anything cannot be me. My body is a part, property, and product of the matter. My breath is part, property, and product of the energy that is already present in the creation. My mind, so my stress, so my anxiety, so my anger, everything is part property. I'm none of them. I cannot be. I'm consciousness. So we start with the three bases. Let us say there must be a creator in the universe. The creator, if there's something, the world is there, so there must be some cause. So that cause is we just label it as a supreme consciousness. We don't know yet, but we label it for the sake of understanding. The tiger is not going to understand because they don't have the power of knowledge the way the existence has the power of knowledge to create the universe. I have the power as a human being. Power of knowledge, power of action. Two powers I have. So with that power of the knowledge, and I see, oh, there must be a cause. So what is that cause? So let us call it supreme consciousness, let us call it a God. So that's a beginning of an understanding. That's a beginning of a journey where we say God is there. We have yet to find out. So who recognizes that there is a God? I. So I am an individual consciousness. So what I recognize the universe, the entire creation of millions of species and the time and the space. So that you can say, we say Jiva, Jiva individual consciousness. Then universal consciousness is the word outside of name in the form. Then we say the supreme consciousness. So we do not physically delete universal consciousness. We do not physically delete individual consciousness. We delete the wrong notion present in the mind. That wrong notion is nothing but the ignorance. We remove that wrong notion. Now, I told you a couple of times that self awareness program or viveka is not to separate physically, I have to separate it mentally. Why to separate mentally? I have to separate from real from the unreal. So there are many ways of viveka. Here we understood the viveka that we should separate from the individual creation, from the creation by the existence. This creation by the existence cannot be removed. Individual creation can be removed. You cannot remove air, water, fire, earth, steel, gold, uranium, etc., etc. But you created a nuclear reactor, you can destroy it. You see, look from that point of view. Start looking the world, this house, this building is created by the. It's a human creation. It's an individual. You can destroy. World Trade Center destroyed and built again. Now we have Twin Tower. Twin Tower. My parents have died. Their parents have died. I am standing in a line. It's an existence creation. You cannot stop it. Do whatever you want to do. You can delay, you can aging process, you can live maybe 150 years, that's all. Where is 150 years as compared to millions of years of existence of the earth? Even it is less than the life of a mosquito. But how I claim that I live 90 years because of ego? individual consciousness, this reflected sun in the bucket of water. And now, on one part of the earth, there is a darkness where that reflected sun has gone. Gone. Individual creation has to depend on millions of factors outside. Existence creation is independent, water anywhere. You go to Antarctica, you go to Alaska, you go to Africa, you go to any ocean, you go to any river, water is same. Perfect creation, H2O. So what if the biochemist knows that it is H2O? It's not a big deal. Existence knew it. That I created an imperfection.
So our power is not to create, our power is only to make the form.
Our power, we must create. That is why the transportation, communication, we have internet. So we are in fact evolving. We are manifesting the powers already present in the creation. Only thing we should take care that we have to check if any creation that the humans are doing does have the minimum opposite. We should use the air, but we should not pollute the air. We should use the water, but we should not pollute the water. That's what we have been doing. I see a girl as a means for enjoyment and pleasure. That is the problem. So that my mind has already created an idea that, oh, this is an object of enjoyment. Milk products, ice cream and lot of candies, and then the curd. And now I just had a cranberry curd. I had a vanilla curd. So you like the sweetness, you go on eating and land up with the diabetes. Curd is good for digestion, but also good for diabetes. Think. Remove the individual, universal, supreme. There is only one consciousness. And that is what is known as Satchidananda. That is known as Satchidananda. Where it is here and now. Did I understand the sun, reflected sun in the buckets of water? Yes. So let self-awareness program says that we are also the buckets, we are also the reflected sun in the bucket of the body. We simply need that understanding. So my perception changes. Oh, so that girl or the boy which my mind was looking as an object of enjoyment and the pleasure is in fact I and he or she both are same. There is no difference. There is hardly any difference. So when there is no difference, then what happens to the mind? The mind removes that confusion and conflict. So now you have entered into the creation by the existence. And there is always a peace and happiness in the existence. I need not to find out. It is there. Object of enjoyment as a thought, as a feeling, as a sensation has gone. What is left is peace and happiness. What is left is pure consciousness. The only journey is that how, another question comes, how to think and speak and act out of that consciousness. Mind will always create a doubt. Mind will not create a doubt of its own creation. It will give 1 million reasons. Look at the nuclear reactor. Okay, also look at the Chernobyl. Look at the Hiroshima. No. But still, we have a benefit. So we don't say it has a benefit or we say find out what is the ultimate cause. It is consciousness. Think of this. Think and start, how to live. Check that your perception changes. Check that now the way you see the world has changed. Because the mind has dropped that conflict and confusion. Now the same mind is not looking, the reflected sun in the bucket of water is real. So whatever the mind expresses, it's only a manifestation. When I say I don't agree with you, that I is manifestation. It's a reflected sun in the bucket of water. Purity. We'll work on it, how to think and speak and thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.